Rafiq grew up in a small village where opportunities were rare and dreams were often left unspoken. He was the eldest of 4 siblings, and his father worked as a farmer while his mother took care of the home. Rafiq was a bright student, always curious, always eager to learn, but he knew from an early age that knowledge alone wouldn't be enough to change his life. In the village, most people spoke Bengali, and only a few could speak broken English. Rafiq heard that those who could speak fluent English got better jobs in the city, worked in companies, earned more money, and gained more respect. This idea stayed in his mind like a seed waiting to grow. When he finished his SSC exam with good results, he told his father that he wanted to move to the town for college. His father was hesitant, but seeing the hope in his son's eyes, he agreed. In the town, Rafiq joined a government college and stayed in a small hostel with other boys who also came from rural areas. In class, Rafiq realized that many of his classmates spoke fluent English. They answered teachers confidently, gave speeches, and wrote essays easily. Rafiq, on the other hand, struggled to even introduce himself properly in English. This made him feel embarrassed and small. He avoided speaking in public and didn't raise his hand in class, even when he knew the answer. One day, during an English class, the teacher asked students to stand up one by one and talk about their future career. Rafiq was nervous. When his turn came, he stood up, trembling, and said only a few broken sentences. "My name Rafiq. I want to be an officer. I job. I like, work hard." The class laughed, and he sat down, feeling crushed. That night, he looked at himself in the mirror and said, "I will never feel this way again. I will learn. I will speak like them. Better than them." From that day, Rafiq started waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. He borrowed an old English grammar book from the library and began learning the basics again: tenses, verbs, sentence structures. He also started listening to BBC radio and English songs, even though he didn't understand most of it. He wrote down new words and tried to use them in sentences. He stood in front of the mirror and practiced speaking. He recorded his voice on his cheap phone and listened to it, correcting his pronunciation. He started reading English newspapers, starting with headlines and slowly moving to full articles. In the beginning, he needed a dictionary for almost every word. But gradually, he began to understand more. His confidence grew. He joined an English-speaking club in town where students came to practice spoken English. The first time he went, he was too shy to speak. But the coordinator, an old English teacher, encouraged him. "Don't be afraid of mistakes," he said. "Each mistake is a step toward fluency." That advice stayed with Rafiq. He started participating more. He made friends who corrected his grammar and helped him improve. Slowly, he moved from short introductions to full speeches. In his second year of college, he was selected to participate in a debate competition. Though he didn't win, everyone praised his improvement. Rafiq felt proud, not because he was perfect, but because he had grown. After completing college, he aimed higher. He wanted a job in a multinational company. He knew it required strong English skills. So he applied for an English course at the British Council in Dhaka. It was expensive, but he saved money by giving tuition to school children. He moved to Dhaka, rented a small room, and joined the course. There, he met people from all over the country. Everyone was trying to improve their English for career goals. Some wanted to be pilots, some were preparing for IELTS, some dreamed of working abroad. In that environment, Rafiq thrived. The course focused on communication, professional writing, and interviews. He learned how to write emails, how to introduce himself in meetings, and how to present reports. He practiced mock interviews and learned how to answer questions like "Tell me about yourself" and "What are your strengths?" His teachers were impressed with his dedication. After completing the course, Rafiq applied for a job at an international NGO. In the interview, conducted entirely in English, he spoke clearly and confidently. He talked about his journey, his goals, and how he overcame his fear of English. The interviewer smiled and said, "Your determination is inspiring. Welcome to the team." Rafiq got the job. It was the happiest moment of his life. From a boy who couldn't form a sentence to a professional working in an international environment, he had come a long way. His English was not perfect, but it was strong enough to connect, communicate, and grow. In his new job, he often had to write reports, attend video calls with foreign partners, and represent his team. He continued learning every day, reading books, watching documentaries, and writing journals in English. His life changed completely. He could now support his family back in the village, pay for his sister's education, and even build a small house for his parents. He became a role model in his village. Young boys and girls came to him for advice. He told them English is not just a language. It's a key. A key that opens doors to jobs, knowledge, and the world. If I can learn it, so can you. He started free weekend classes in his village to teach English to school students. He brought old books from the city, downloaded learning materials, and even started a YouTube channel where he taught in simple Bengali English mix. Slowly, the impact spread. More students from his area began dreaming of bigger things. Years passed. Rafiq kept growing in his career. He traveled to different countries for training and conferences. Every time he stood at an airport, holding his passport, he remembered the boy who once couldn't say, "I want to be an officer," properly. That memory kept him humble. He believed that no matter where you start, with hard work and belief in yourself, you can reach anywhere. One day, during a company event, he was invited to give a motivational talk to young professionals. Standing on the stage, in front of hundreds of people, Rafiq shared his journey.
He spoke in fluent English, with confidence and warmth. "I'm not a native speaker," he said, "but English gave me the power to dream bigger, to connect, to grow. It's not just about grammar or accent. It's about courage. Courage to try, fail, and rise again." The audience gave him a standing ovation. After the event, a young woman came to him and said, "Sir, I was afraid of speaking English, but your story gave me hope."
I spoke in fluent English with confidence and warmth. I'm not a native speaker, he said, but English gave me the power to dream bigger, to connect, to grow. It is not just about grammar or accent, it is about courage to try, fail, and rise again. The audience gave him a standing ovation. After the event, a young woman came to him and said, "Sir, I was afraid of speaking English, but your story gave me hope."